Hi, I'm Sean.
I'm Rhonda.
Yeah. So, beliefs are the reasons behind needs and desires, and sharing them happens at the greatest level of intimacy.
Think about when you were a child and various things happened to you, and in that moment you believed, my parents don't care, they're too busy for me, or my friends aren't interested, I must be boring. Or, you see someone mistreat somebody else and you take that type of mistreatment and apply it to all relationships. When this happens, someone is disrespected. Can you see all the various times in life where the enemy inserted a belief that doesn't align with God's word? Because I can put my trust in the Lord instead of choosing to be afraid. I can see God's value for me instead of estimating that maybe I don't have value or I have less value. And so our beliefs are what I believe about myself.
Really, beliefs are an unseen part of you. It does express how you act, but it's an internal thing there. And so it's something you're going to have to dig for a little bit deeper to go there. So it's not maybe just lying on the surface, on the top of the ground.
We might have lies in our heart, not only about self, but about others. I believe that people who would do this or say this are this kind of person, and that may not be true. We would be judging the intents of our spouse, for example, based on what someone else did, and they may not have that intention. And so there may be other lies in the heart. We want to uncover those, and one way we can uncover those is by noticing our feelings. Something is stirring, right, in our spirit realm. And sometimes we don't stop and look at that. But if we can say, what is it I'm really feeling here? What is my self-talk? What am I saying to myself? Why am I saying that to myself? What do I really believe is happening? What do I believe is true? Is that true? Does it align with God's word? If it doesn't align with God's word, 2 Corinthians 10, 3-5, we need to take that thought captive and replace it with God's word and make it obedient to Christ.
Our beliefs are like a compass or a map, something that guides us, that leads and adds a definition about how we see things, how we interpret things. And so you want to bring your spouse into that realm of how you're looking, how you're interpreting things.
It is the foundation from which we respond and react.
Yeah.
Without thinking.
Right. The spiritual side of your marriage relationship is a very deep part of who you are. And so finding ways to talk about things that you believe about God, about yourself, and about others.
Yeah, I think making time to read the Bible together, to share what God is showing us each together, and to discuss what God's showing us. We see a lot more from the Lord when we share what the Lord is sharing with us. And so we may journal, we may have all these thoughts that are going on individually, but when we bring them together and we talk about, and a lot of times what the Lord is showing each of us may actually shed light also on each other's, what we're seeing. But I think being able to share those things, have daily prayer time, we can find some things to pray about with each other. We can pray about our children, and that's usually not difficult territory maybe.
Yeah.
And we can grow, start slow and grow gradually.
We want to realize that looking at these areas of our communication is like taking a magnifying glass or putting something under the microscope and expanding how we're seeing what we're doing, and realizing that just because we talk about facts and events of the day and things like that, we haven't arrived. We may be communicating at one level, but we haven't arrived at the deepest level. So we encourage you to go deeper in your relationship.